fusions, heroes, the gnomes. Guys, PvZ3 may end up being the best PvZ game we've gotten in years. Whoa! Crazy statement right there. For the past 6 years, Plants vs. Zombies 3 has been the community's punching bag, and for good reason. It was first released in what was possibly the most embarrassing display of quality from the entire franchise. Horrid 3D graphics that made Pokemon Scarlet and Violet look like a PS5 game, baffling creative decisions such as removing sunflowers, and character designs that, yikes. Now let's fast forward to the present. Plants vs. Zombies Fusion took the community by storm, becoming uber popular with nearly every major PvZ tuber covering it in some way, shape, or form. It's easy to see why, as the gameplay loop of combining your plants with other plants until you reach monstrosities like these is super addicting, and the large number of fusions available makes it so no two games are alike. Why is that important? Because PvZ3's latest concoction is ripping off, inspired by, Fusion. It was first seen in the Chinese beta, and my immediate reaction was, really? But now, I'm feeling more hopeful about it. Optimistic even. But why am I feeling that when I was just bashing it for copying other games? Well, 2024 to 2025 has probably been the biggest roller coaster of emotion within the PvZ community. The Garden Warfare games got talk of being updated. Heroes actually was updated. PvZ 1 got updated. Very poorly. PvZ 2 kept getting updates like it always has.
Very poorly.
An entire new remaster of the first game was announced. Heroes got another update leaked with actual new content. And as the release of Replanted grows nearer, it's becoming apparent that the dev team truly cares about making their games good, and paving the road for Plants vs. Zombies' grand return. Some of the sprites from PvZ3 Evolution, as it calls itself, were leaked, and to nobody's surprise, it was based off of the gimmick of fusion. Of course, none of the in-game text refers to it as such, and instead calls it merging.
Oh wow, they're so unoriginal. I bet they're just using Fusion's designs and putting it in the PvZ3 art style.
And if you're thinking that, you'd be wrong. Well, it's kind of unoriginal that they're obviously using Fusion as a base, but I digress. Despite the common foundations, PvZ3 is very distinct in its design, definitely helped by using some of the PvZ 2 plants that Fusion doesn't have access to. And come on, some of these puns are genuinely good. Cold Slaw for an ice cabbage pult, Cabarrage for a bonk choy cabbage pult fusion, Canopy for an umbrella leaf pea shooter. These sound great, and their designs are, mostly, pretty good as well. And even the hybrids that overlap with the existing fusion ones, like for example Sun Shooter, they look completely different from each other, and it makes it difficult for me to act like it's a true ripoff. And even then, it would be disingenuous to pretend that Plants vs. Zombies as a whole is alien to this sort of thing. It's not like the most popular games in the franchise are built upon each of the classes having several subspecies of them, right? Sure, variants aren't quite the same, but honestly the best way to describe Fusion is that it's effectively PvZ 1, but with variants. Now, onto the game itself. The plot is that a meteorite strikes down in Neighborville and causes weird mutations in both the plants and zombies. The plants get the ability to fuse together, while the zombies turn into these abominations. This meteorite could very well be Meteor Z from Heroes, because in the files we get to see sprites for Green Shadow and Solar Flare. Depending on the release date for this and the leaked Heroes updates for a new tournament mode, I could see this being a promotional event for the two of them, like how PvZ2 did a Heroes collab back when they were in their heyday. We don't exactly know much else about the campaign, other than the fact that there are at least 46 levels, and roughly 90 plants, including fusions. And hold on, are those the gnomes? If they're the true final boss for this game, it will solidify itself as possibly the best usage of gnomes in the entire PvZ franchise, outside of the trials from Garden Warfare 2. I could write a laundry list of ideas surrounding them, but let's not, so I'm not here all day. But if you do want to hear Plants vs. Zombies ideas, do I have just the series for you. Alright, enough compliments. From the way I've been hyping the game up to this point, you would think this would be some Golden Age popcap level stuff. But at the end of the day, it's still PvZ3, and is still a free-to-play mobile game, meaning it will have some predictable pitfalls. We're gonna be getting ads. They also have the exact same icon PvZ2 has, where it tries to get you to buy their subscription-based ad block, so that's not looking very good. There are also icons for flash sales that will most likely show up when you navigate between menus, as well as sprites for coin offers. So that all but confirms the existence of microtransactions. There's also a battle pass. Yay! And if that bundle of fun wasn't enough, it appears that we're going to be getting some form of seed packet / level up system for our plants. The store will have seeds available for the base level plants that have no confirmed function, but this feels pretty obvious. Unless they go the garden warfare route and make all of your plants into consumables for some reason, they'll probably behave like seed packets do in PvZ2. The homescapes decoration things are back, because we are all clamoring at the prospect of those core mechanics returning. And please, can they at least give us some sort of benefit to using them? Like buffs to certain plant classes and their fusions depending on what you have equipped? Because I could not care less about what paint-by-numbers homescaped house I have in this game. It would be even more depressing if they somehow have less impact on the gameplay than the backyard items in Garden Warfare 2. And no, these Among Us task-looking microgames are not going to make me invested in more modern mobile game sludge. There are also avatar customization things, which is nice, but I feel like they'll be using this as an excuse to add more paid content by keeping the actually decent-looking stuff behind crazy Battle Pass rewards. What did they do to Nate and Patrice? My eyes! All in all, PvZ3 Evolution is looking to be the freshest installment in the franchise that we have gotten in years. From solid new designs, deciding to borrow, mechanics from an actually good game to form its main gimmick, to showing clear signs of effort in its development. That alone makes me feel pretty good about what they have in store for us, makes me genuinely hyped for PvZ3 of all things, for probably the first time ever since the 2019 beta came out. If I told that to me from a few years ago, I probably would have laughed. Heck, even from a few months ago, I probably wouldn't have believed myself. But at the end of the day, if you put a bow tie on a pig, it's still a pig. PvZ3 is riddled with a lot of what made it so poorly received in the past, even if they managed to soften the blow with all the razzle-dazzle of the good stuff presented up front. If the devs are so adamant about keeping what everyone hates about it, it makes you wonder about how willing they really are to listen to the fanbase. And even with these issues, this may very well be the best iteration of the game released by a wide margin. It's also difficult to give any full-speed praise to Evolution as a concept, because really it's only shaping up to be as good as it is by merit of Fusion already being a top-tier fan game. So am I really complimenting PvZ3 at this point? Or just validating it for reading off of the other game's homework? At a fundamental level, this is probably the biggest double-edged sword PopCap has ever wielded against its fanbase. And that's just me. I'm sure there will be many fans who are absolutely livid with PopCap for ripping off Fusion, and there are microtransactions, which is to be expected. Either way, these are my thoughts on the leaks and how PopCap is handling their not Fusion threequel to the much-beloved Plants vs. Zombies. If you have any of your own ideas, please do comment them, as I'd love to read them. Thank you so much for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you later!